Hello everyone and welcome to a new week of Road to VGC Worlds 2016. Now, if you're looking at the screen in front of you, you will see that I'm using a very peculiar team. It's a Perish Trap strategy. So, this team was used by a Dutch player and he went undefeated in an international Wi-Fi tournament, which is something very difficult to do. And I don't know his exact EV spreads. I don't think he published them anywhere, or I wasn't able to find them, so I had to figure them out for myself and by watching his videos and things like that and paying attention to the amount of damage that opponent's Pokemon did to his Pokemon and things like that. And I made some adaptations myself in order to fit my playstyle a bit, and some calculations I ran personally. So all the information on the team is in the description down below if you want to check it out. And let's get right into it, shall we? We already found an opponent, Claim, with an interesting team. He has Wigglytuff there. Okay, so I've never seen a Wigglytuff in VGC 15 or 16. I did read Ray Reese's report when he used a Wigglytuff to win a regionals, and I tried using it myself, but I was never able to be successful with it. So I'm pretty sure from the previous screen every opponent will know what strategy I'm planning, but that also sometimes makes my opponent's moves a bit predictable. So let's see here. I'm definitely leading Gengar. The question is sorry. The question is, do I pair it up with Scrafty or do I pair it up with Clefairy? Because a competitive dazzling gleam from Wigglytuff might not be ideal here. And a Wigglytuff Salamence lead actually looks pretty solid for my opponent. So I might want to lead Clefairy, though nothing else really threatens me too much. Now I am going to go with the standard Gengar Scrafty lead. I will have Gothitelle in the back, and I will have Dewgong as my fourth Pokemon. Now I've seen many instances where the player who used this team previously didn't bring Gothitelle and chose to bring Clefairy, Dewgong and Scrafty as support. So I'll try to keep that into account and see what kind of battles are appropriate for that. Alright, so my opponent does lead Wigglytuff and Excadrill. So he has a possibility of using Earthquake or even Drill Run on Gengar, which is quite scary to be honest. And I activate Wigglytuff's competitive. I could lose. I'm going to Fake Out here and Perish Song and Mega Evolve, of course. So the question here is, who do I Fake Out? Who am I more scared of? The Excadrill will Drill Run. Will a Life Orb Drill Run KO Gengar? I think it will. So Scrafty is definitely expendable, Gengar isn't. So I'm gonna target Excadrill with my Fake Out. If Wigglytuff takes down Scrafty, that's fine. And wow, Excadrill actually switches out for Rotom here. So obviously the right play would have been to Fake Out Wigglytuff, but I was scared of a Life Orb Drill Run with a high critical hit ratio. I didn't want Gengar going down this turn. There's the Perish Song, so we have to keep those two Pokemon trapped. And there is a chance that Rotom also knows Volt Switch. Yeah, wow. Scrafty went down almost immediately. That did a lot of damage. And Rotom has leftovers. That's interesting. Usually see, like, just looking at this team, I would have definitely expected Citrus Berry. But that's not the case. Now, I'm not too scared of Rotom. Seeing leftovers means it's not too offensive. So, I'm going to disable Wigglytuff and I'm going to heal Pulse my Gengar just in case. Next turn I can simply switch out, or I can even disable an electric move from Rotom and afterwards just bring in Dewgong and I will put the battle 2-3 in my favor. And by disabling Dazzling Gleam, my opponent's best move on Wigglytuff will no longer... Okay, he disconnects as soon as he saw the disable. That's weird. But I guess we get to see what would have happened. The Thunderbolt doesn't do too much damage, and once I was able to disable it, he wouldn't be able to do too much damage on Dewgong. That Icy Wind, pretty irrelevant. Not too worried about outspeeding things. But I don't know why we're still in the battle. Did my opponent reconnect? Does Battle Spot let you do that? I'm not entirely sure. But the battle is still going on, so I'm still... Okay, no, there it is. So we got our first quick win. I don't know if it was a communication error or he simply rage quit after seeing the disable, because it is a pretty big coincidence that as soon as he saw disable, he disconnected. But hey, that happens. We got our first win with this team, starting off strong. I think we started out with a loss the previous 2 weeks, so we're changing the trend here. And we'll see how this second battle goes down. If it's another quick battle, I will play a third one, but battles with this team usually are a tad bit longer than normal because you are playing super defensively. Now, wow, my opponent has a potential Perish Song team himself with Gengar and Scrafty and Amogus and Politoed and Thundurus. Those are common Perish Trap Pokemon. But he does have the Gardevoir, which could be the Mega on this team instead of Gengar. Gardevoir, Politoed, Amogus, Scrafty, Gengar, and Thundurus. Okay. So he will know I'm Perish Song. That means he will probably lead Gengar. So, and since I cannot trap Gengar, I definitely need Clefairy in this match. Now the question is this the match where I bring in Dewgong and Scrafty as support rather than Gothitelle? Because that Gardevoir with Hyper Voice is very scary, so I'm not sure if I want Scrafty in here. I don't think I'm bringing Scrafty. Bringing Dewgong and Gothitelle in the back. And if it is Gardevoir, a Helping Hand Shadow Ball, I believe, takes down even the most defensive Gardevoirs. So we might go for a more offensive approach this time around. We'll see. That is also a possibility. A Helping Hand Shadow Ball does a lot of damage, and actually I took out a little bit of bulk from Mega Gengar in order to put more special attack to ensure I one-hit KO some stuff with that Helping Hand. Now my opponent's lead tells me he probably wants to Volt Switch, and he probably wants to target Gengar here. But every time my opponents have led Gengar, they've gone for a Sludge Bomb on Clefairy. And is that Mega Gengar? That's a big question here. If it is, and I follow me Shadow Ball to knock it out, I don't think it is though. Okay, I'm gonna take a risk here. Because of how every opponent I've played so far has played. I'm gonna Shadow Ball Gengar directly, and I'm gonna protect Clefairy. This is a very high risk, high reward play. If it works out, and it is Mega Gengar, I'll be able to take a KO. Yeah, it is Mega Gengar. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. Now the question is, does he protect? My Clefairy protects. Is he offensive or is he... No, he went... Okay, he went for the Shadow Ball on Clefairy. That's pretty weird. But that means we take down his Mega Gengar on turn 1. Like, why would he double up on Clefairy? Okay, here's the thing. If you expect a follow me from Clefairy, just double up on the other Pokemon. I guess he expected a Protect and an Icy Wind. That was another possibility. But without Shadow Ball, I don't know. Now, both of my opponent's Pokemon are trapped. He can't fake out Gengar. He might have Psychic. So the safe play here is to simply protect Gengar. And I'm gonna Icy Wind. Doesn't really matter what I do. Because if he could have Psychic. I don't know. Is he Scarf? He went after Gengar though, so he's not Scarfed. He might be Spexed, but I'm gonna protect just to play it safe. And I'm going to try to double protect with Clefairy, just to scout what he does. See what that Thundurus does. That's what really worries me. I get the double protect, so that's very fortunate. There's another Thunderbolt, so I would guess it's Spexed. He also went for the knockoff, but now I have the protection on my Gengar. I will follow me this time and simply Perish Song. The combination of Thunderbolt plus knockoff shouldn't take out Clefairy. There's the Perish Song. So we're looking to be in a pretty good position here. That Thunderbolt, okay, it's Life Orb. And since he has targeted Clefairy every single time, I don't think he has Psychic. He could, but I don't think he does. Now here I'm going to disable Scrafty. And no, I am going to disable Scrafty, and I'm going to follow me once again. It's fine if Clefairy goes down to a Thunderbolt. I don't want to be surprise Psychicked, but by disabling knockoff on Scrafty, wow, he has Volt Switch. Okay, Volt Switch. So Thundurus is safe from the Perish Song. If I had protected Clefairy, that would have been amazing, because I could have disabled the Volt Switch next turn. But by disabling knockoff, I pretty much guarantee that Scrafty won't be doing any damage at all. His only other attacking move is probably Drain Punch or a fighting move. So he won't be doing any damage at all pretty much to either of my Pokemon. Gonna switch Gengar out here for Dewgong, get a Fake Out, and no, actually I'm not. Gonna protect Gengar and gonna set up Trick Room here. Next turn I am going to switch Gengar out before it faints, bring Dewgong in so I have a Fake Out available to me. Where's the Protect? There's the Drain Punch, which won't be doing pretty much any damage to Goth. And Goth is carrying the leftovers, so I will heal that damage off pretty easily. Yeah. the perish count falls to 1. Now a Drain Punch will hurt Dewgong a bit, but with a Heal Pulse I will be pretty okay. And next turn I have the guaranteed Perish Song, because that Thundurus obviously has speed. Scrafty will be out of the equation. That Drain Punch does do a lot of damage with a critical hit, okay. But Politoed won't threaten either of my Pokemon at all. So it'll be down at 3 against 2. Thundurus and Politoed will have a very difficult time KOing all 3 of my Pokemon. I mean, Thundurus might make short work of Dewgong, but thanks to the Trick Room I will get the Perish Song before anything too weird happens. And I can reset my own Trick Room in order to make Mega Gengar the fastest Pokemon out there and disable my opponent's attacks. Now, yep, just gonna Perish Song. I guess I'm going to revert the Trick Room, because a Shadow Ball will also should take down that Thundurus. So after he gets more Life Orb recoil. There's the Scald on Dewgong. There's the Thunderbolt on Dewgong, of course. Gets taken down, but both of my opponent's Pokemon are Perish Songed. Gengar isn't. So as long as we survive with Gengar, which with Disable we should be able to do, and the combination of Protect, we should be fine here. A Life Orb Thunderbolt probably won't KO Gengar, and I will be faster, so I'm gonna Protect Gengar and I'm gonna Psychic Thundurus, because that will definitely put it in Shadow Ball range. And then it'll be up to Politoed to take down a Gengar, which doesn't really worry me at all. Psychic, doesn't even matter how much damage it does, yeah. And it lowers the special defense, so Politoed won't be able to take down Mega Gengar on its own. And it's also faster than Goth, so if it came down to Goth against Politoed as a last Pokemon, he would faint first because of how Perish Trap works. The fastest Pokemon faints first. Therefore, I would win the match even if all Pokemon got KO'd from play. There's the Scald. I Heal Pulse my Gengar. Thundurus is down. Scrafty was down as well. And it's now an uphill battle. All I have to do here is protect Gengar, and that's the game. I expect a forfeit from my opponent, and that turn 1 play was super high risk, high reward. And I'm pretty glad I read my opponent well in the fact that he also had a Perish Trap team, very different from mine, definitely a lot more disguised, but still we got the upper hand on that turn 1. If he had doubled up on Mega Gengar, actually this was the second battle, yeah. If he had actually doubled up on Mega Gengar, he would have been in a better spot. And since I still had my doubts of it being Perish Trap, I probably should have followed me that turn instead of Protect, but it worked out in the end. Something to consider for next time, and if I ever see that combination of Pokemon, I definitely will know to expect Gengar and Perish Trap for sure. So thank you very much for watching, guys. That's all for today. 2 wins, which is pretty nice to start off with. A change of pace from the last 2 weeks since we started 3DS battles. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like the video if you can. I'm setting the goal for 20 likes per video this week if you can. It only takes a second to click the like button. So please help me out with that. It really motivates me and helps me to keep bringing you all this content. And if you're interested in seeing different kind of battles, such as single battles and things like that, I actually sent an application to participate in the Poké Draft Kings tournament. So I'll link the Twitter for that down below. I'm pretty sure if you guys, any of you who are interested in seeing me battle in different formats, if you tweet at them, hey, I'd love it if Tablemon got selected for season 2 or something like that, it would definitely help my odds of getting in if they see I have support and people rallying behind me. So that would be something amazing for you guys to do for me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.